Hallo meine liebe Schülerinnen und Schüler, ich hoffe, dass es euch gut geht und ihr euch wohlfühlt. Ich habe euch lange nicht gesehen, schon lange Zeit. Unser heutiges Thema ist Konjugation und unregelmäßige Verben. So, Konjugation is conjugation, as you know, and we have learned it last year and this year so far. How we change the verb of the sentence according to the subject of our sentence. And this is main German grammar rule. But today we will cover something new. We will cover some verbs which will not follow the main rule. And these verbs are irregular even in present simple, because in English grammar we know that there are some irregular verbs in past simple and perfect form, present perfect form. So, but today we will learn these verbs that are new in German, that are new for you, and these are existing in German. These are also irregular in present simple tense form. So, before stepping towards our new grammar, I would like to take a look at our previous grammar, Konjugation, conjugation. And as we mentioned before, we must change our verbs according to the subject of our sentence. But how do we do it? So, what we do, we have to remove en ending from the end of the verb, and then we have to add some endings, new endings to the end of the verbs. So with different personal pronouns, we do add different endings. If it's ich, I, so we remove, as we see in the example, if our verb is machen, let's say to do, to make, ich mache, so we have removed en ending and added e ending. So with do, du machst, we have again removed en ending and added st. With rzs, he, she, and it, let's say, we have removed en ending, added t only. With wir, we have kept the infinitive form. With ihr, we have removed en ending and added t. And with sie and the respect form, we have done the same and kept the infinitive form. With other verbs, with other two examples, the same happening here. So, ich spiele, I play, du spielst, you play, sie es spielt, wir spielen, ihr spielt, sie spielen. Ich lerne Deutsch, du lernst Deutsch, sie es lernt Deutsch, wir lernen Deutsch, ihr lernt Deutsch, and sie lernen Deutsch. As we mentioned before, the grammar is the same. However, there are always some exceptions, and those verbs will not follow this rule that we have mentioned here. Before moving to the new grammar, above mentioned grammar, irregular verbs in present simple, we have one more regular verb here which applies the main rule, and the verb is schreiben. Now you see, ich schreibe, du schreibst, sie es schreibt, wir schreiben, ihr schreibt, und sie schreiben. Now we are moving to our new topic, irregular verbs in present simple tense form. If you were given a task to conjugate the verb essen, to eat, you would most probably end up with ich esse, du esst, sie es esst, wir essen, ihr esst, sie essen, as shown on the left side. But this is not correct because essen is an irregular verb, and with do and rzs forms, so with you and he, she, it form, this verb will not follow the main rule, the main conjugation rule that we have learned so far. And now I will also provide you with some another verbs which are very important in daily use that are also irregular in present simple tense form. There are two very important necessary things that you have to keep in mind, that these irregular verbs in present simple tense form in German language, these are only irregular with do and rzs forms of personal pronouns. So, as we mentioned before, ich, wir, ihr, and sie forms will follow the main rule, and now when we take a look at our examples, we can observe the same thing happening here, that they don't change with ich, wir, ihr, and sie forms. However, there are some fluctuations. Let's say there are some diversions from the main rule with do and RZS forms. Simple said, do, est, it must have been the case, but we don't have this case. We have do ist. It means E has been replaced by I. And in RZS also we must have had RZS est, but as you see here in our example, it's RZS ist. With the sprechen, we say ich spreche, not du sprichst, because according to our rule it must have been du sprichst, but we say du sprichst. Again, E has been replaced with I, and with RZS we don't say spricht, we say, or sie spricht, or es spricht, we say sie es spricht. Lesen, here we see ich lese, du liest, sie es liest. Wir lesen, ihr lest, and sie lesen. With fahren we have kind of another case. In this regard, there are not changes in between I and E letters, but we have here umlaut. We say umlaut here because usually, according to the rule, let's say normalerweise, we must have had said du fährst, but this is not the case here because we have to add here umlaut. Du fährst, and RZS fahrt is not the case. We say RZS fährt. With nehmen, the situation is completely different because here we can say the verb has almost changed in the root or from the root. There are changes in the root. We don't say du nimmst and RZS nimmt. We say du nimmst, RZS nimmt. I am going to provide you with such verbs in the following slide and give more examples. However, you are also going to have homework, which I will explain how to manage in our next slides. In German, there are too many of them. However, if you can notice these, the most important ones that are used in daily German, these are, I would say, enough for daily talks. And more examples here are provided for you. So geben is a simple verb. You know that it means to give. Ich gebe, du gibst, and RZS gibt. And I haven't mentioned here wir, ihr, and sie forms because you know the change will happen only with do and RZS forms. Waschen means to wash. Ich wasche. Du wäschst. Here we have umlaut case. And RZS wäscht. Sehen, this is also a very simple verb, means to see. Ich sehe. Du siehst. RZS sieht. Laufen means to run. Ich laufe. Du läufst. RZS läuft. And vergessen means to forget. Ich vergesse. Du vergisst, and RZS vergisst. Here we have again the, let's say, change in between E and I sounds or letters. Of course, if you have learned the new grammar rule, you also are gonna have homework regarding to this rule, and you must be able to apply what you have learned so far. So you have 5 more verbs, very simple daily use verbs: helfen, schlafen, treffen, tun, and wissen. Helfen, to help; schlafen, to sleep; treffen, to meet; tun, another form of to do, another form of machen, let's say; and wissen, to know. What you are gonna do, I will show you the way, the easiest way, how to find their conjugation forms. So please follow the next slide, and then I will show you, explain you how to find their conjugation forms, because your task will be conjugating all these verbs according to personal pronouns: ich, du, RZS, wir, ihr, and sie forms. What you must do to find the right conjugation form of the verbs in present simple tense form, you just have to go to the website konjugator.reverso.net. You see here I have done screenshot for you, and then you must check the indicative presence forms of the verbs. Here in the example I have taken a regular verb, as an example, but the verbs that you don't know how to conjugate, you can simply go to the website and just type the verb and find their correct conjugation forms. So let's say you are trying to find the verb helfen, the German verb helfen, and its correct right conjugation form. You just have to type the verb here, and then you are going to find its right conjugation form on the left side under indicative forms. Presence indicative is the right form that you must find as your homework. So I wish you all the best, and I'm really grateful that you have listened to this video and you have learned something from this. So ich wünsche euch alles Gute und ich warte darauf, dass wir uns wieder mal treffen. Tschüss!